As a Flint native and a Flint kid, I grew up and I went to Stewart School. Actually, I went to Brownell as well. I never knew that my community school director was funded by the My Foundation. It didn't matter. All I knew is when I walked the halls and I seen Mr. Pugh, when I walked the halls and I seen my community school director, and he picked me up and he took me to games and he got me popcorn. I never knew until I became the Flint Community Schools superintendent that way before that I ever became the superintendent, when I was a kid walking the city of Flint, the My Foundation was making a difference for even me. And to continue to be doing that today, community school directors being in our schools is making an impact on the community still to this day. What an amazing thing. When I think about my community school director, when I wanted to play sports and I wasn't that good, he brought me along anyway and let me play. He allowed me to do things, and I'm being real with you. He allowed me to do things that I never thought I would have the chance to do. That's what I remember, and that's what I hope for with every community school director we have today. The connections that was brought to me. That stuff matters, man.
Well, I'm a product of the way the Mott Foundation has invested in the Flint community. The Mott Foundation's particular support for after-school activities for kids, and it's taken different forms over the years, changed my life. Now, maybe I would have turned out okay anyway, but I grew up in a neighborhood where I never had to have any doubt as to whether there was something interesting and positive for me to do. I have the Mott Foundation to thank for that. If I had spare time on my hands, who knows what could have happened. But I always had something to do because the C.S. Mott Foundation was there to make sure that kids, my generation and even in the current generation, have a way to be creative, to express themselves in a positive way. That's transformational, not just for a few years, but for me, for my whole life. So that's pretty dramatic.
So my uncle David Munerlyn was a community school director, one of the original community school directors in the city of Flint. And that's when Mott started the initiative of Community Ed, which really led to other systems outside of Genesee County having their version of community education, but really this is the home and heart of where it started. So thank you to Mott for that. But as a child, my uncle Dave Munerlyn was a community school director, and I remember being a kid and his motto was idle hands lead to destruction. So he made sure that kids had open doors and access to buildings. And so being, several decades later, me going into the role of community education, being a community school director, I carried that same motto. Idle hands lead to destruction, so I want to make sure buildings and places, safe, quality places are accessible for students and families in the community, which was all brought to by the Mott Foundation, creating this opportunity so that we can provide surmountable amount of resources and accessibility to buildings and technology and different things throughout the community. And the beauty in it is that every neighboring school within the Flint Community Schools is its own ecosystem, its own individual support system. And so every school is different. Some schools might be STEM, some schools might be a great project-based learning site, others may flourish in parent and engagement activities. So it's like every hub has its own specialty, and that's the most unique, beautiful thing about it, is that each building supports that community that it sits in.